War. War never changes. From the black powder rifle to the humble las gun, there is only war. What in the name of the Holy Emperor is that? Oh, hello there. It is me, Commissar Nuka, and I'm speaking to you from the Mechanicus Manufactorium. Here in the Factorium is where they make the plasma weaponry for the Imperial war machines, like this one. Praise be the Omnissiah. If you are watching this, you have been chosen to wield a plasma weapon. Safety hazards include overheating, spontaneous combustion, radiation, sickness, blindness, and a 100% guarantee to vaporize anything in front of you. Good luck, guardsmen! Step 1. You want to base all of the coils in a pure white. Now I use the Pro Acryl Titanium White. You want to make sure that you get a bright white coat, and you want to do multiple layers that are thin, because if you do a thick coat, you're going to lose all of those details of those coils. So you can always water down your paint just slightly. But you want to make sure that you get that entire thing along the bottom and the sides. I also did those little ventilation things that's kind of near the front of the plasma gun, as well as the barrel hole. Step 2. You're gonna get contrast frost heart, but you're gonna want to add some white to the mixture until it becomes this light baby blue. And the white is gonna help it stick better onto the coils with a more even coat. You're going to add a little bit of water to the mix until it becomes this ink-like substance. And then with the edge of your plate, you're just gonna get that excess paint off. I kind of like to do it in a little bit of a swirl so I get a sharper point on the tip of my brush. And you're gonna wanna work up towards the top of the coils. And if possible, you wanna leave that bottom part white, but you're going to hit that entire area. We're gonna do the exact same thing to those little ventilation things on the plasma gun and the barrel hole in the very front. Now, with pure contrast frost heart, you're going to get the edge of your plate and you get off all of that excess paint off first. And I like to do it in a little swirl so that you have a nice tip point on your brush. And at an angle, you're gonna hit all of those coils on that plasma gun. You wanna work up, and this took about 2 to 3 coats, but you can always build up coats on those coils to make it a little bit darker. Now to make the coils even darker, I use the Ocean Blue AK Interactive ink. But if you don't have that, you can always use Contrast Talisar Blue. The ink just has a little bit of a shine to it, which I kind of really like. What we're gonna do with this, you're gonna get that ink, which is that dark blue, and with the edge of your plate, you're gonna get off all of that excess paint off first, just like we did before. But now I use a much smaller brush, so I have a little bit more control. And just like we did, we're gonna angle it, and we're going to work up because we want the top of the coils to be darker and the bottom to be a little bit lighter. That contrast frost heart, we want that to still be there on the coils, but we want that to be closer towards the very bottom, and we want that darker blue to really show along that top half on those coils to be darker. Now, I chose the pure white from the AK Interactive ink, and it did not disappoint. So where those coils are from the bottom, with a little bit more ink on your brush, not too much, you're just gonna lay it down on that very bottom rim part of the plasma coils. And what's kind of interesting about the ink, that it still holds that strong white pigment, and it just worked its way up just a little bit in between those coils, which I absolutely love because that looked great. And I also went up just a little bit on the sides of the plasma coil. So like if this was it, I went up kind of along the side, the bottom, and a little bit up on the side as well. Now, if you don't have this, you can just use a watered down pure white. Now, I did the same thing, well, not the same thing, but very similar. Get the excess paint off first, and where those little exhaust things, ventilation things are, on the gun, I just put a little bit of white in the very center, and I did the same thing for the barrel hole in the front. But what if you wanted a glow effect? Well, your commissar has you covered. You're gonna get contrast frost heart. You're gonna mix a little bit of white into the mix so that it's just a little bit of a lighter blue. Then with your handy makeup sponge, which you can get like a bundle of these for under $10 on Amazon, just wanna make sure that it's got that nice point. You're just gonna dab it in there, and you really want it at that very tip of that makeup sponge. And you're just gonna tap it along the edges, not where the coils are, but on the actual gun itself, around it. And this is just gonna help build up color, but still be very faint. And I also did this on those little ventilation things near the front of the gun. But you want the glow to be brighter and then darker. So I got contrast Talisar blue, and kind of where that halfway of that glow is, I just painted that part blue and blended it in with the rest of the gun. So for mine, it was corn red with some highlights with Feastin' red. And I put that over, and I did this all over where I put that light blue. Now, I ended up highlighting it just a little bit too much, and I'm sure there's plenty of you guys who are gonna do that too. So I went back with the original color for my gun, which is like corn red, and with a small brush that's slightly watered down so that's gonna be somewhat translucent, I just tapped it in the original color so that it doesn't take too much away from that glow, because I want to redo that. So you're just gonna tap it in along to help make that glow a little bit smaller, because a lot of times when the glow is just too much, it just looks bad. So you just gonna want to have a subtle glow on your plasma gun. Lastly, you can get a very light blue or just mix some white with our contrast frost heart. And you're just gonna wanna hit some of those edges where that glow would hit it the brightest. So I just got the side of my brush and I hit some of those edges. You don't wanna do too much, you just wanna do a little bit. Remember, it's heresy not to like and subscribe to this video. And if you want even more content, check out my gaming channel at Nuka, Kitten Gaming. Bye!